There's a lot of talk out there about therianthropy and what exactly it is. I'm sure you've seen a lot on the news, but what exactly is a therianthrope? How are they made? What are their trademark characteristics? Well, fret no more, because this helpful guide is all about teaching you about therianthropy. Therianthropes, also known as lycanthropes, werewolves, shape-changers, and beast folk, are human individuals who have contracted hypertrichosis zoanthropy, a blood-borne condition which greatly mutates a person's physical form, rendering it more beast-like. The most popular form of therianthropy is lycanthropy, which has been popularized in the last century through books, games, and TV. Now, there are a lot of myths about this condition that we are going to dispel in this lecture. For starters, however, let's go over the many forms of therianthropy and how it works. Therianthropy is contracted through contact with the bodily fluids of a therianthrope. These can include blood, saliva, urine, and other fluids. Typically contracted after an individual survives an attack, it is estimated that only 1 in 7 victims of a therianthrope attack are likely to contract the disease. For currently unknown reasons, however, this statistic is skewed during periods of the full moon, making it much more likely for a victim to contract it. There are 3 distinct stages present in this disease: contraction, incubation, and metamorphosis. We will cover each of these stages in depth in a later lecture. Therianthropes can be identified by their exaggerated and deformed features during periods of metamorphosis. Typically, therianthropes sport features reminiscent of various animal species. The most popular features are canid or ursine characteristics, present in over 40% of the therianthrope population in North America. These features can include pronounced incisors and canines, large amounts of body hair, sharp, even serrated claws, and a deformed nose or jaw. However, other forms of therianthropy exist. Though extremely rare, aquatic and even avian mutations have been documented. However, these features are either largely vestigial or function poorly due to the asymmetrical and mutated structure they take. Adaptations such as gills or fins have been noted in aquatic therianthropes, allowing them to dive to depths difficult for even trained scuba divers. These are largely considered rare, however, and are the subject of great debate and study within the scientific community. Outside of periods of metamorphosis, therianthropes function just like you or I. It's important to remember that these are not savage monsters or deranged killers. These are individuals infected with a terrible disease. Outside of these brief periods where they undergo their transformation, they are doctors, lawyers, loved ones, and upstanding citizens. We would like to take a moment to dispel some of the myths surrounding therianthropy. Myth number 1. Therianthropes express cannibal urges and can only consume raw or human flesh. Fact: therianthropes are omnivores like all humans and do not possess any unnatural urge to devour humans. Any and all incidents during periods of metamorphosis can be linked to animal instinct and extreme starvation. Myth number 2. Therianthropy has a 100% contraction rate. Fact: scientists and doctors deem the estimated rate of contraction of therianthropy at only 15%. The rate of contraction if exposed to a therianthrope's bodily fluids while not in metamorphosis is even less at only 5 or 6%. Myth number 3. A therianthrope's metamorphosis is wholly controllable and can be induced at will. Fact: therianthropes undergo their transformation on a strict timetable or as a response to specific external stimuli such as heightened emotional stress. A therianthrope during their metamorphosis possesses greatly reduced cognizance and often cannot even recall what has occurred during the transformation after the fact. Myth number 4. Therianthropes can only be killed via silver. Fact: while silver is extremely poisonous to therianthropes, extreme physical trauma can kill a therianthrope. The chemical reaction of the silver when it reaches a therianthrope's bloodstream neutralizes their regenerative factor and can cause extreme internal hemorrhaging. This allows them to be killed much more easily, but great amounts of blunt force trauma, high-heat explosives, extreme blood loss, and extensive tissue damage can all lead to a therianthrope's death, even without silver. Myth number 5. Therianthropy has mystical or religious origins. This includes the idea that therianthropy is a satanic or otherwise religious curse, or that the transformation therianthropes undergo is magical and inexplicable. Fact: therianthropy is wholly explainable, and while biologically complex, can be understood. While the bizarre nature of therianthropy has led us to question our previous knowledge of science, there is nothing to suggest that there is any mystical or sinister origins behind this disease. Any and all evidence to suggest otherwise should be dismissed. The moon is not the cause. Their blood is not the cause. All evidence to the contrary should be dismissed. We hope that we've been able to dispel some of the rumors circling therianthropy. In later lectures, we will cover what to do if you encounter a therianthrope undergoing metamorphosis, the stages of therianthropy, the characteristics of a therianthrope, and what to do if you believe you've contracted therianthropy. Until next time, this has been a public service announcement from the Institute for the Study and Advancement of Biological Sciences.